Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon for the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, it's the Tuesday morning catch-up stroke transfer show. Yeah, bit of a mouthful there. Why? Because today is the last day of the transfer season. Thank goodness for that. I remember doing a 25-mile walk with my brother when we were back in the Scouts, and I'd far rather do that again than do a transfer news. It took its toll, man. Took its toll. But anyway, we got three segmented live news. Coming back on Cannon 42 on this Tuesday, and there's still no voice of reason. There's still not been any voice of reason.
The voice has remained silent for a couple of days.
But anyway, as you guys will get into this on the other side of this music intro. Oh boy, we've got some bits and pieces to talk about. Yes, welcome back to Cannon for the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yeah, it's a Tuesday morning catch-up show transfer show. We're gonna have to knock this one out in just on an hour, because of some technical problems here. I can see something's happened here on the app that I'm using to go live. But yes. Before we get into this one, guys, as usual, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification button. Please be part of the community. We're, I think, like 400 and some change short of 50,000 subscribers.
Wow. Stepping up a pace.
Yeah, well, I have. Yeah. Step up the pace and then some change, man. But anyway, Ralph, how is you, geezer? No voice of reason.
Video will be submitted soon. I just had to, I survived a couple of days in work. And trust me, when you're in work, where you've got an Aston Villa fan as your store manager, you've got Everton fans, you've got Chelsea fans, you've got Man United fans. Man United and Liverpool fans are strongly linked to South Wales. But it's like everybody comes out the woodwork when it's Arsenal. Everybody came out the woodwork. I had even a Newcastle fan trying to banter me, and I said to him, "Look, we gave you Joe Willock, so walk away." Other than that, it's been a hard couple of days, and I've seen the responses online, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook or whatever. Boy, I'm feeling it, and I'm not even a manager. I'm feeling it. Every Arsenal fan is feeling it. You know what? I even went on the Arsenal webpage to find out if there are any vacancies, because I'm sure I can get a job in there. I'm sure I can get a job there, Alex. Man, these last couple of days have been a real trip. But anyway, it's been. I'm good for my well-being. I'm taking things in a kind of like light-hearted manner, but the last couple of days has been a real bind if you're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. All right, so let's, as usual, get into this one. First bit of news, I don't know what is going on, Ralph, with Arsenal, man. What is going on? Ainsley Maitland-Niles. God. Arteta's, Arsenal's Arteta concerned about Maitland-Niles' Instagram activity. Mikel Arteta was concerned with social media activity of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. According to a certain publication, Arteta was more worried about what the right back put in his Instagram story than his future. Maitland-Niles is unhappy after the club rejected, his loan offer of going to the Toffees, Everton. And in a stunning move, the player took to Instagram to lament his frustration at the club. Maitland-Niles posted a short statement hinting he would like to leave the Emirates Stadium. And he put in there, "All I want to do is go where I'm wanted and where I'm going to play." Ralph, you give us your opinion, man. Because Ralph, yeah, no, go for it, Ralph, man. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so tail end of the season before, FA Cup, he featured. He was on the verge of going to West Brom. Actually, he did a stint in West Brom. So this is the thing that has really frustrated me, and I'm trying to keep my words clean and everything else. You're a young talent. You know that you're a good player. Your manager has swapped you around in about 2 or 3 positions. You found your spot, and then you go out on loan. And then you find your spot when you're on loan, and then you come back into the club. You're an asset. You're deemed as an asset. But an asset is only deemed such when the person's been put, or the asset's been put to good use. This club has frustrated this young man no end. No end. I'm not really surprised, to be honest, that he's taken to social media, because that's what young players do. Look what William Saliba did a couple of seasons ago. I think it's rather that he did what he did on social media than to actually act out the frustrations out in public, because then you've got the tabloids and then they're trying to dig everything else up, and it'd be even more damaging. But this young man, he deserves a lot of respect. What is the club doing to him? They're not respecting him. I understand it. I understand if I have to put comparisons, Guendouzi, actually, I heard that Guendouzi scored in a match. Guendouzi scored finally. So it just goes to show that sometimes, when you look after a player and you put him where he's got to go, when he starts playing, then that's the reward. It's simple. Why, that's the reason we had an academy. We had an academy so we can bring the best of the youngsters and slowly get them either on loan and then get them some more experience, because we all said this before, that the Premiership is a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So you want to do things in the right way. You want to do it methodical. This is a typical situation that we haven't looked after this guy. We haven't looked after, actually, if you want to go back in the history of Arsenal youngsters, it's littered. It's littered with the way that we've treated them. I am frustrated for him. Why can't we he was doing okay at West Brom. If you're not going to give him a first team spot, then pull him out. Put him out to put him out on sale. Get some money back. That money, we wouldn't be in the situation now. So what's going to happen? Is Bellerin going to go? So then he's going to become a right back, or is he going to be put in midfield? From what I heard, he said he doesn't care where he plays. He wants to play. Then play him. Play him. Simple. Why are we complicating such a simple thing? I don't understand it. I really don't. There seems to be, well, not there seems to be, there is a rather systemic situation, environment going on at the Emirates. And as fans, we all seen it played out on the pitch. When you've got a manager near tears, because half of it, if not 3/4 of it, is his own doing, Alex. It's his own doing. We can't blame Wenger anymore. We can't blame Unai Emery anymore. We can aim it at the Cronkies, but at the end of the day, the manager is the one. Him and Edu are the ones that are meant to be getting these talents in and managing them, and they're not managing them in the right way. And this is we are feeling it. Well, we're feeling what he's feeling.
So there are some unconfirmed reports that he's been punished, in inverted commas. He's been told that he'll be training alone and away from the first team. But again, it's unconfirmed reports. This is coming on the Daily Mirror, but I think for me it's unconfirmed. It could be just people again just trying to sensationalize it as it is already. But yeah, I just what is going? There is again a question mark being put over Mikel Arteta's man management style. Again, you know, with players that I know he. There've been some disagreement between Ainsley Maitland-Niles before the season before last about him where he wanted to play, but it's all coming to a head. It's all coming to a head, and like you said, Ralph, it is of his own doing, or his own doing. And again, he's probably thought that he's coming over to Arsenal. You know, familiar face, ex-captain. It wasn't a great player for Arsenal. But he's probably thinking, you know, oh, here's my time. Now's my time. I was a number 2 of one of the other clubs, big clubs in the country, Man City. It's not as simple as that, and he knows it himself, Ralph. And there is a saying about boxers. Boxers are always the last ones to know when they should hang up their gloves. And I've always said, nah, they are the first people to know that they should hang up their gloves, but they just don't want to admit it. Mikel Arteta doesn't want to admit that literally, you know what, the job is far beyond him. And the inexperience is just presenting himself. It's just presented itself. That obviously, we knew he was inexperienced. And like now, you look at the FA Cup, that kind of brought in some time. But you know, Ralph, you know, a season, a month is so quick in footballing terms. That's long since gone. Long since gone. So we're looking about the here and now. The here and now. And I'll tell you what, Ralph, you know, the boards, I mean, again, I was watching Sky Sports and one of the podcasts this morning. They were saying, well, maybe up until the Tottenham game, maybe how that goes, I think, you know, he'll be gone, because I can't see Arsenal beating Tottenham, Ralph. I can't see it. I can't see it. But in regards to the main topic here, you know, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So, you know, the situation we heard about Hector Bellerin, who we're going to be talking straight after Ainsley Maitland-Niles, the club didn't want to let him go. The club did not want to let the player. So what are we keeping players who want to leave the club only for them to be, you know, resentful to the club? It's not healthy. It's not healthy. The player wants to go. And like I said, Ralph, young players, they just want to play. He wants to play. He wants to play at a club where he feels loved and where, of course, he's going to get game time. Joe Willett must be looking down as I'm thinking, wow, I dodged one there. I got away. I got out of jail from that situation there at Arsenal. An absolute mess, Ralph. Absolute mess.
But Alex, that's the thing. You got Joe Willock. I mean, Reece Nelson is gone out on loan, I think, as well now.
Yeah.
You got ex-players, I say ex-players, like Guendouzi, for example, Torreira. You've got some of those players out, and they're thinking one or two things. One, that's my ex-teammate. Two, when you talk among yourselves. Now, if it's a disciplinary situation, you know, there's some things that we're not going to be privy to. I've always said this. There's always going to be some. We're only getting the incident, and we are reacting to it. We don't know what happened in order to make that situation become as it is. But like you said before, players just want to play, but managers need to understand, or they're ex-players. This manager is an ex-player, so he knows the situation, he knows what it's like, he knows the pressures, and he knows the expectations. But somewhere along that line, there seems to be a blind spot, or fog, or he's in a deep forest. He can't see his way out of it. The people around him may not be advising him in the right way, or he's not taking the right advice. He's doing things his own way, and he rubs people up the wrong way. You know, the short kind of story I've got to this is that I remember when I was working for a company, and my performance was on a daily basis. And I was talking to my manager, my manager was my boss. And he knew that I was struggling. He knew it, he can see it. And the worst thing is that when you're under pressure, everything else attached to you starts disappearing because you're focusing on trying to sort things out rather than trying to be honest and say, look, I'm struggling. And in the end, I end up losing my job. I just, you know, my boss sat me down and said, Ralph, it's not working out. You got to go. And that was a really hard kind of like decision that he made, but I could have made it sooner. I could have made things, you know, that situation a lot easier for myself. But you don't, because you're thinking, all right, maybe tomorrow will be better. Maybe tomorrow may be better. But tomorrow never comes. And when you've got a manager who demands performance and he's not getting it, then a manager has to have the conversation. Now, this manager, maybe he has had the conversation with these players. Maybe the players are forming the fool, as Dad would say. If you're forming the fool, there's one or two things going to happen. You're going to hurt yourself, or I'll hurt you because you're not listening. Or there's a bunch of players that may feel that they're entitled to question the manager. And there's nothing wrong with questioning the manager's actions, but you've got to back it up when you're on the pitch. If you back it when you're on the pitch, then you've got no argument. So we seem to be in this we are in the mud. We're stuck. And all we're getting is what this young man is saying, that he just wants to go somewhere where he can play football. And we're not doing, that's basic. If we're not doing that basic, how many more other basics are we getting wrong?
Dear me. I just don't know what my club is. What's happened to my club, man? What's happened to my club? And I think Ralph kind of hinted, you know, in regards to, you know, the situation. What's it going to mean for Bellerin now? What does it mean for Bellerin? Well, Bellerin, apparently, he's on his way out on a loan deal, expected to complete a Real Betis move. Right back to Bellerin is set to complete a move to Real Betis before the transfer window slams shut. The news comes as little surprise considering the Spaniard clear desire to leave Arsenal last season with a return to his homeland and the best possible destination. Again, you know, another player that was convinced to stay on Mikel Arteta, and the frustration. You know it in yourself. When you've had enough, you've had enough. You know, if the player wants to go and have a fresh start, then let the player go. Because I can't see what Hector has added to Arsenal over the last 4 to 5 years. Actually, since he's an ACL, a player on a decline. He said last season that he wants to leave. Ainsley Maitland-Niles said last season transfer window, this time last year, he wanted to leave. What are we? Are we hostage takers now? Are we keeping these players as hostages at the club? We don't want players who are going to be resentful and unhappy because the club didn't want to fulfill their wishes to let them go and start afresh somewhere else. And remember, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is another product of the Hell End. It's been with us so many years. And that's what I said to you before, Ralph, when we went to the Emirates, and you said, how can you not be inspired when you walk out on the pitch at the Emirates? When you stay at a club or in a job for many years, Ralph, it happens to the best of us. You can feel it yourself. You are the first person to know, you know what? Yeah, I've just got into a routine. I need a new challenge. But, you know, Mikel Arteta, his person management skills are seriously under the microscope, Ralph. Under the microscope. So, yeah, Bellerin, next player to be leaving, but only on a loan deal. Not being sold, Ralph. Not being sold.
Yeah. Just going back to what you said about when you know that you've been in a job or a business for too long. When I was relating my story, there's two parts. There's your part when you think, you know what, it's routine. I'm not being stretched. My comfort zone is so comfortable. I can just, all I need to do is just turn up and I'm okay. But then the other part of it is the manager. It's the person who owns the business. It's the person who runs the store or whatever. You know, they have an invested interest. If they have a vested interest in the personnel, then it's their responsibility as well to say, well, hang on a minute now, you know what? You guys performed so well last year. What's happening this year? You know, who have we lost? How can we regain that top spot? You know, you've got one or two troublemakers. What is it that's making them become the people that they are when we know they could do a lot better? So a manager who has an experience of how to deal with those kind of situations can spot those red flags. You know, when one red flag goes up, you think, okay, well, that, you know, hang on, slow down. What is it? When it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, your head's all over the place because you're trying to prioritize which is the red flag that needs the most attention. There's been too many red flags in this club, and it's only because of where we are now in terms of understanding what the club is going through, what the players are going through, what the players do if they clap when they come off the pitch, or if they don't clap when they come off the pitch, the social media activity, all those kind of bits of information are there at hand now. So the players will feel a bit more pressurized. Players will still want to keep on going because of the expectancy, but it's down to a manager that understands that. You can't. I'm baffled. You've got an ex-player who becomes a manager who doesn't seem to have those or have experienced those kind of situations. He's doing them ad hoc, and yet the people around him are not telling him, look, you know what, Mikel, I've seen this happen before. You need to address this. You need to sort it out. Rather than just hands back and say, okay, you're the boss. You do what you got to do. So there's trouble at both ends. We've seen it with players before. We heard that Lundberg before, when he was caretaker manager, he identified who the key players were. Mikel has gone in, no experience, and he has to deal with that. And all of a sudden, the gloss and glam of winning an FA Cup hides those things. But we as Arsenal fans understand, hey, now, you know what? We've won FA Cup, but what are we doing in terms of longevity? We've got a great goalkeeper. Oh, hang on a minute, he wants to leave. Oh, okay. Oh, we've got a young player who's disrespectful. We put him out on loan. Now he's gone. We've got a player whose form is dipped in and out and didn't show up for one of the key matches in the season. Oh, but you've just rewarded him with another 2 or 3 year contract. Oh, hang on a minute now. There's 2 players that was about to walk out from the club who said they want to leave, and you're begging them to stay. And yet 2 of my mates who from Hell End are showing what's needed is young players, and you only included them because there was nobody else. Too many red flags. And Mikel now is the only one who's got the red flag literally draped over him because he can't see anything, it seems. He can't see anything, or he doesn't want to see it. But we're seeing it, and we're paying for it.
Anyway, just to kind of throw more fuel onto the firestorm at Arsenal. This will really get people's backs up, depending on which side of the fence you were when this player actually eventually left. The player has been the most divisive player that I've ever seen in all the years I've been supporting Arsenal since 1976, 77. And just what's this? The Amazon Prime documentary coming out, Ralph?
All or Nothing.
All or Nothing. Yeah. Well, I think this player is probably going to be. He's going to give his version, Ralph. That's the long and short of it. There is a report that Mesut Ozil is set to reveal all about Arsenal's career in a must-see documentary. And I'm not going to mention the other podcast or Twitter handle where this has come from. But it says that he could be about to reveal all about his Gunner stint in a new documentary. A source close to Ozil has told that podcast that the 2014 World Cup winner is in advanced talks with an international production company to make a documentary about his final years at the club. The documentary would reportedly deal with what happened behind the scenes and offer insight into the perspective of both the player and the club. So, talk about timing, bad timing, good timing. Mesut Ozil stirring up the Hornets' nets. Yeah. Do you want to say anything, Ralph, or shall we move on?
The only thing I've got to say is that he left a rather sardonic remark on Twitter, didn't he, about trusting the process. You know what? Players going to do that. Players used to do it in books. You know what I mean? I remember, was it Yap Stamp from Man United? He did a book and he was never seen at Man United again. I'm sure Yap Stamp. Yeah, because Ferguson didn't stand for that kind of nonsense. If you're taking a pot shot at the club that supported you, there's other clubs out there that we can find for you. You know what I mean? So he's a free agent. He can pretty much do what he likes. Arsenal fans will flock and see it because obviously there's always two sides. Well, I say there's three sides to the story. Their version, your version, and the truth. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he's only doing what other players would have done if he wasn't on the podcast or if he wasn't in books or audio or whatever. So yeah, he can do what he likes. As far as I'm concerned, it is what it is. That's
yeah.
It is what it is. I don't think he can do any more damage to.
Oh, dear me. But anyway, guys. So that is it. Those are the three segmented live views. From an Arsenal, Ken Ford team's perspective on this Tuesday catch-up show. Yeah, God, dear me, Arsenal, an absolute mess.
Transfer Tuesday catch-up.
Yeah. What we're going to do, as usual, we're going to take a bit of a break. Yeah, it's something strong, man. There's something strong in this. Anyway, when we come back, we'll go into the live chat and see who has joined us on this Tuesday morning catch-up transfer show. All right, people. So then, what?
That song just went.
I know.
What's the fade, man? What's the fade in and fade out? What's going on? The fuck?
Dear. I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely do that, just to kind of give us like an inkling when it's about to end. But you've seen it so many times now. You should know what's coming, man.
But I get lost in the music. I like the beats. And I was saying,
keep on your toes. All right, let's go into the live chat for the first time. We've got Pap. It says good morning. Good morning to you as well, Pap. Abdul says good morning. And our moderator for this Tuesday morning catch-up show, transfer show, is Ashley D. Says, hey up, Gooners. Amrit says, evening, guys. Evening? Oh, well, yeah. Okay, yeah. Your positive attitude and smiles motivates me to keep following Arsenal. Thank you guys for your hard work. Thank you for those kind words there. Priceless. I want everyone to look at Arsenal squad and fighting mentality. Whether we can win any team in the Premier League this season, but has there been a fighting mentality, Ralph?
Maybe amongst themselves when they come off the pitch. I know we joke about this. I know we joke about this a lot, but I sincerely would love to spend a day at just being invisible. Spend a day at the training ground. What Arteta does in terms of tactics, although we can see anyway. Everything leading up to game day, because the videos lie. As far as I'm concerned, the videos don't show the whole thing. You know, it'd be good just to see what they do. Because that fighting spirit, that mentality. I mean, we go back. We see what it's like. You know, when I see like Tony Adams or Martin Keown look like you don't want to. If there's a dark alley, you would not want to go there because he's there. You know what I mean? It's players like that. We don't have players like that anymore. You know, I understand that the game's got to progress and move forward, but you still got to have that fighting edge. You still got to have that. You still got to be. You know, when you all come out wearing the same shirt, that means that you're defending your teammates. You're not. You know, the opposition is the enemy. I was watching a bit of that Fire in Babylon. I keep watching that. I think I've watched it twice now within the last week. When Joe Garner was asked a question by it was the bro that had the weird action. Colin Croft.
Yeah.
Colin Croft said to him, like, you know, what happens if your mum was at the other end? And Joe Garner said, he said, boy, if she's at the other end, then, you know, she's the enemy. And that's his mum. You know what I mean? So if you're calling at your mum, but that's what I'm saying. It's being competitive. I was saying to the guys that, you know, my daughter and I was playing games, and she's got that competitive spirit now where if things don't get her way, then she gets upset. And I think that you got to have that. You got to have that kind of like internal kind of like fighting mechanism, because fight or flight is natural. When you've got the opposition and they've got the ball, you want to fight for it. You don't want to think, well, they're going to pass it to me any second. You got a guy who's 5'3" and you're 6'2", and he outjumps you. You know what the hell? To me, it's alien. It's alien to me. Yeah, I tell you one quick story. All right, so we've both been to school, Highbury Grove School, right? And we're both in Bedford House. Now, if you remember, anyone who knows Highbury Grove School, Highbury Grove School, it's divided into houses, and my brother and I were in Bedford House. Now, every other house in that school, the football teams were really good. Oxford House was really good. Richmond House was really good. I think even Gloucester House was really good. Bedford House in my time wasn't the best team. But we play against Richmond. I never get this. There's a guy called Nelson, and I had to mark him. And the reason why it sticks in my mind is because I was on this guy, and for the whole match, we scored one goal, and we did everything we could. We did everything we could to beat them, and we beat there was one time I remember the ball going over my top of my head, and Nelson was on, but I think the ball he shot and the ball went over the bar. And even my teammates would look at me and say, Ralph, the whole match, and you let that guy just go just for 1 second. So but it was one of those things that I won't forget, because it was the mentality. And when we got back to school, it was talked about Bedford House beat Richmond. They felt that it was a shame because Bedford House, everybody beat Bedford House. But I was pleased because I was thinking, you know what, I actually man-marked one of their main guys. And I think that's what it is. When you're competitive, you got to have that in you. If you don't have it, I can show you, but if you don't have it in you, you will never have that until a situation makes you fight. You get me? But
Mm.
boy, I tell you, Alex, it'd be good to see what this team. But yeah, you know, fighting mentality. Do they have that? Maybe they're fighting for their checks, and that sounds
actually,
really.
actually, this
Sorry.
is Arsenal working on a deal to sign a 20-year-old. Well, just seen actually, I think it's been confirmed now that Arsenal brought this guy. I've never heard of him before. From Bologna. Yeah, never heard of this right back before. Takehiro Tomisaru. Well, anyway, depends on other movements, though. We have not had much luck with previous Japanese players. Apparently, Niles plans to meet with Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta this afternoon and request he be allowed to join Everton. Guys, I can see there's over 100. You guys are crazy, insane in the membrane. What else do we have here? So, guys, you know what? I feel a little bit lost, but I've just been tweeting out to the chairman of the board, who's a contributor on Canal 4 TV, about the situation of Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and we've had like a to and fro tweets, and someone put a silly response. I wasn't even talking to the person. The person kind of found himself in the conversation. But anyway, this is what happens. Where are we? Sorry, there's been so many comments in the live chats. Goodness, where are we? Here we go. Ren Stewart says, free Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Indeed. Hostage takers. Good morning, Alex and Ralph. What a day. It's a normal business as usual, plenty of rumours and nothing else than the obligatory why have we bought him panic buy, i.e. normal business continues. Yeah.
He's got it down to a pact, isn't he?
Prosper, good morning. Another young, bright player Arteta keeps on the bench for Xhaka. There is something about some Spanish managers that is weird. Let the young talent go. Brian, good morning, my friends. Good day. Hi, Alex and Raz, and anyone else. And thank you for the super chat as well. I'll probably go to the pub to Wales with my brother, buy my brother a pint of beer. I'm not a pub person, but my brother Ralph is.
Yeah, I'm a pub. Well, I say pub. It's good. It's pub person, club person. Where there's people, man. I like to be out and amongst them, but from a totally distant point of view.
Thank you, Ralph. Nick Lucas says, "Get the clowns out of the club."
Which ones?
Well, there's more than one anyway. Arteta should punish himself. If he is a midfielder, let him play in the midfield. Xhaka out, problem solved. Issue with the microphone, Alex. A lot of noise. All right, I think that might be on my brother's side actually. But yeah. We'll resolve that. Sorry about that. The Hell End boys should have got 5 years extension and loan out in this pandemic market with Guendouzi and Mavropanos. If we are buying under 23 profiles, as you're right, they want to play and they want to win. Of course they do. As a youngster, that's nothing better than that, isn't it? You know, I mean, I guess the older you get, if you've had quite a successful career, you're probably thinking about, oh, well, my career's coming to an end. Then the money, you think about the money, but as a youngster, I'm sure money doesn't feature so much in your frontal lobe. You're thinking about time, game, making the most of your career, not so much about the money. It's a complete shambles. Apparently, Niles has been told to train. Yes, yeah, but again, that's still unconfirmed reports. So I thought, I'm not going to go in on that. I'm thinking, really? He's been told that he can train away from the first team. Did you want to say anything about that, Ralph? I mean, for me, I don't believe that. Well,
all clubs got their own kind of like disciplinary procedures, and if that is such, I mean, he's frustrated. He's been messed about. He's been messed about a lot. Either you put him out on loan. This all could have been done so much sooner than it has been. We had pre-season. Why wasn't it done during pre-season? All the times we said that Arteta should know he's 11. It's clearly shown that he doesn't know his 11. He keeps changing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what is it? You know, if you're going to get rid of Bellerin, why not just have the conversation with Ainsley Maitland-Niles and say to him, look, you know what, Bellerin is literally at this moment in time on the plane going to Real Betis. I want you to play in his position. You know, just put all our cards on the table. I want you to play, I want you to play. If you want to play, I want you to play for me. And if he says, well, Governor, you know what? I've been messed about. You put me over there. You put me over there. What guarantees do I have? If it was Brian Clough and Fergie, they'll say the only guarantee is that you're playing in the first team, but the rest is down to you. And if you start messing about or not doing as you're told, then I take you off. All right, Gov, no problem. Done deal. Have the contract signed up. That's it. Next.
Dear. Well pointed out, actually. Actually, yes, Miguel Aziz is now signed for on a season-long loan to Portsmouth, and some much-needed breath or time away from Arsenal. He comes back, but you know, I hope he has a good a season-long loan. Yeah, spell. What are they called? What are Portsmouth called? What are their nicknames?
You know what?
I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, not Seaside. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be my homework. Perhaps as these players should have been sold this window because they came out and said, I would leave. Xhaka, Bellerin, Torreira, Willian, and Kolasinac. Listen, there can be no excuse because you had enough time. You had enough time. You knew the players who wanted to leave and the players we should have got rid of. Today's the last day of the transfer window. The last day. Well, the last few hours anyway. And anyway, I don't want to go, in on Arteta, the poor lads. Pat, yes, but for Arsenal to sell them, there needs to be a club willing to buy them. And if you are a manager, would you buy them? Would you buy Bellerin, Ralph? If you Ralph.
based on what I've seen him play at Arsenal, let me put it this way. So I'm sat there with the manager, and my manager says, "Boss, Bellerin's leaving Arsenal." I say, "Okay, where's he going to?" "Well, boss, we got a deficient right back that we need. I reckon Bellerin would be the next one." Okay, is there anyone else? before you put twist my arm behind my back, is there anyone else? No, because I've seen what he's done at Arsenal, and all I know is the guy, when he was before his ACL. Let's be fair, before his ACL, he did have a good pace on him. I never forget the match we played at home against Newcastle. I think we was losing 2-1, and their attacker, I can't remember his name, but he was turning him inside out. It's like Bellerin had to drop off a yard or two to try and read this guy, and he didn't have the pace. He didn't have the pace to stick up with him. And I was thinking that just goes to show that ACL has affected him a lot more than what than maybe he thinks. And I think when you're a player, when you know that you haven't got that pace, when that pace has dropped off, you do start reading the game more and trying to intercept the passes or the tackles a lot sooner. But if you're a second too late, it's a foul. If you're a second too early, you've missed the ball, and then that guy has turned you and he's gone. And if you know yourself that you can't keep up, you're shouting to the other defenders to say, "Go on, mark him!" But it's too late, because then he might have done that pass, and then that pass is going to lead to a goal. So his pace has dropped off considerably, unfortunately, because of that injury. So no, I wouldn't. I would have just said no. Is there anybody else? If we're backed into a corner, it'll have to be performance-related pay. You have to play one match and maybe not for the next 2 or 3.
But with a smiley, happy content emoji there. Tony, good morning. Yeah, it's just 5 before 12 midday. And that's one bit of good news for Arsenal. Bellerin going now. Get rid of these players: Cedric, Chambers, Holding, Elneny, Mali, and that clown Xhaka. Most of all, Arteta. Ray says, honestly, how can Arteta bring any change soon at Arsenal when he's not doing well in the field, and also very poor in handling the players? And that's what we said. His management style is just getting so many people's backs up. That's, oh my goodness. I mean, the squad must be divided, isn't it, from those who rate Mikel Arteta to those who he has, by his way, by his being, has gotten their backups. So I'm sure there must be a big divide in the squad, Ralph. A massive divide. And you don't need that. You need everyone on side, don't you?
That's it. That's what I was going to say. That's the worst case scenario. Someone's like Caesar going in to give his final address, and everyone's got the daggers out. Everyone's got the daggers out. You know what I mean? They're just waiting for your back to be turned. Every manager has to go through that, though. Every manager goes through a time when they think they're the best thing since sliced bread, and the players believe them up to a point, and then when 1 or 2 games, in our case 3 games, it's not 3 games. I have to clarify this little point here. It's not 3 games. We're talking, nearly 2 seasons. This guy's been in charge, and the thing that I'm quite empathetic. If someone has a sob story, I listen, but then I always say, okay, so what are you going to do next? Because I know what it's like to be in that kind of loop. When he says, you know what, it's my fault. It's my fault. I didn't do. It's my fault. I didn't do that. It's my fault. Okay, you may have done that last season, or say the season before, but this season, those excuses are not going to wash. You know who you're playing against. The teams in the Premiership all know who they're playing against. They all know, pretty much the same players. There may be 1 or 2 that will shift clubs, but you know the club that you're up against. You know the style of play. It's not smoke and mirrors anymore. You know who you're playing against. So what was he doing during the Euros? Was he sitting down watching the matches as well then? Or was he preparing Arsenal? Well, there you go. That was your homework, and this is where it is now. This is the practical shows that you haven't been doing the theory.
Yeah. Ah, dear. Brian Nielsen, Xhaka, Bellerin, Torreira, they all had deals on the table, a low offer, but they wanted to go. Arteta is mad, says Emmanuel. I'm not sure if he's mad. I'm not psychotherapist or psychologist. It's not just Mikel Arteta. It's also other horrible players like Cedric, Holding, Kolasinac, Chambers, Xhaka, Leno, Nketiah, Bellerin, Willian. Well, William's now gone. He's gone. And then Pepe, Lacazette, Auba, and Niles. Well, it's quite extensive.
I think I would say Holding, potential Pepe, potential Elneny, potential Leno. Leno kept it down on Man City, you know what I mean? So, but to me, everybody else, is Holding. To me, Holding is a mystery, because against good strikers, he can man mark them. But I just don't understand why, when it comes to jumping up in the air, the requirements of being a defender is that you know how to defend. When the ball's an aerial threat, if you're 6 foot something, then really that's your stock and trade. That's your bread and butter. If anything's coming across and you're man marking your man, then you're doing your job. So why those basics are missed? I don't get it. But everybody else now, yeah, I've got no time.
Yeah. Tony Ward says the thing that is wrong with Arsenal, Arteta was an average player, not an Arsenal legend. But Everton and has for Edu, he was average. But they are running Arsenal raggedly. Really? That's why we are raggedly. That's why we are bottom of the Premier League. Arsenal's are terrible. Okay. Thank you to Willian for what he did for Arsenal, cancelling his contract. Respect. Yeah, we don't already know William's torn up the contract. Actually, that contract was worth, I think, £20.5 million. It's kind of toilet saying, no, you know what? No. And I actually read a report where he gave like a short interview. He said that he didn't want to stay at Arsenal because he just couldn't, envision himself not winning anything. Thinking, wow, okay. All right, but anyway, he's gone now.
Compliment, then, isn't it? I'm leaving Arsenal. I can't see myself winning anything. Thank you. I won't take your money. I won't take your money.
I feel bad. Yeah. We have to hit the magic 100 views this morning. We're here. It says 308. So let's see if we can hit 100 likes. Smash those buttons, guys. Willian has become my hero, but he wasn't before. I've never seen a situation where it's everyone else that has the problem. Saliba, Guendouzi, Maitland-Niles, Martinez, Pepe, etc. I'm sure there's more to come if he stays. Alistair, good morning. Says, hi, gents. So Mbappe, he's not coming. No, he's not coming to Arsenal. I tried. I tried, Ralph.
Mbappe just watching this now, going, "What was I going to Arsenal? Get my agent."
Ian says, anyone ever heard of the Japanese dude we just signed? No, I've never heard of him. Never heard of him before. As Arteta still being Arsenal manager, please answer me. He's still Arsenal's manager. He's not.
Yeah.
I said like I said yesterday. The Kroenkes are happy for the time being for him to remain. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. So just strap yourselves in.
Alex, do you think the Kroenkes are ruthless?
In their own way, yes. Why? Why did you ask that question, Ralph? Yeah, what are you trying to get at?
I'm just thinking that if because they must, let's face it, they know that this Arsenal ship is, the Plimsoll line, the water is about to come over the edge, and if they don't address it soon, then all hands on deck. It's all hands on deck. They must have an idea of who they think they're going to get in next. I'm not saying that he's when for him to go. I did that at my cost, so I learned my lesson. But if I think they're ruthless in their own way. When it comes to money, they're ruthless in their own way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Abhinav 17 says, today's my birthday. Happy birthday, my
friend. Happy birthday.
Brian also says, yeah, happy birthday to you. Anyone ever heard of a Japanese? No. Happy birthday. He's saying thanks. Who else do we have here? Okay, apparently Tomiyasu is set for Arsenal medical in a few hours' time as Arsenal closing on a right back, though only seen this one source. Okay. Guys, there's just been so many comments on my page. I can kind of catch up with not with everyone, because I want to wrap this one just inside an hour, if that's possible. Okay, this person I can see Ashley. I'm not with this app because it still shows the comment here. I can see Ashley has blocked this person, so I'm going to block this person from here. Just silly comment in in a live chat there. So there you go. It's been blocked forever. Okay, so look here. Then Arsenal says, send Arteta on loan back to City, please. Well, on loan means he can come back. If Arsenal get OR tonight, it will show how indecisive Edu and Arteta are. Why wait this long? But would you be happy if Arsenal signed Osamoah? I think you would. You would. 95 Winston says Arteta needs to go on a man management course.
Well, you know, he's in one. He's learning it as he goes.
Yeah.
So he's in one.
My goodness. Dear. Who else can I actually bring up on here? Claudia, good morning. Says now Owa and Aaron's. I'm going from the bottom up now. 220 Gunners here. Actually, no, we've got 300 odd now, so I've got a lot of work to cut out. 220 Gunners fans here today, and a couple of dodges. But let's all smash. Yeah, I blocked them now. Actually, I blocked them. So all smash that like button, and remember to subscribe, and you get the best rants from down here. The best rants. We don't rant here. What are you talking about, Ashley?
No.
You're talking about Gaza. Now, Arsenal fans are going to search to Mesut.
I think it might be a bit too late now if he's on the treatment table having his physio.
Azaraf, don't be surprised to see Arsenal bring back Kim Kallstrom tonight on loan. All right, Portsmouth, Pompey. Okay, all right, all right. Who else? Who else can I bring up here? I don't know. There's been so many. Here's one here for you, Ralph. So, Ralph, do you guys have any confidence against Norwich?
Right. I say I'm always optimistic, but after our last three matches, I think Arteta probably set us up in a way that he probably felt. I think the first shock was Brentford. He probably felt that we should have won at Brentford, and he played it all wrong. He played it all wrong. He got his tactics wrong. Chelsea at home, they didn't really look like they was going to get out of second gear because we made it easy for them. We made it easy. The Man City match, everybody was saying, we're going to lose. I had a feeling we was going to lose, but I didn't think we was going to lose by that much. I didn't think we was going to make it that easy. It looked like it was a training session. So against Norwich, I don't know what Arsenal team's going to turn up. I like to think that it may be the start because Norwich is bottom as well, aren't they?
They're above us. They're on top of us. Yeah.
Of course, we're very bottom. So it's the battle of the bottoms.
Excuse me.
The battle of the bottoms. You know who's gonna? Because I think we both leaked in roughly the same amount of goals as well. So if we don't even register, a goal or two or whatever it is to win that match, then that's it. As far as I'm concerned, the slide is on. The slide is on. We're already at the bottom. The only way potentially is up, but it's going to be a hard grind because every team now is saying we can get points against Arsenal, we can score against Arsenal. Arsenal got no defense. Arsenal hasn't scored or attempted any shots on goal. The only one shot was an accidental shot by the goalkeeper from Man City. So everything is in their favour, is in the opposition's favour. We have not done ourselves any favours. So the best thing for us to do, start again.
Yeah.
So, but if we don't do anything, if we don't start again, then for the rest of the season, Arsenal fans, we are in a relegation battle. And I hate to use that term, but it is what it is at this moment in time. If we don't beat Norwich, if we don't beat Burnley, we're expected to lose against them down the road because they're top at the moment. If we don't win our next 3 matches, I'm putting a really high stakes on this, then we are in a relegation battle. Because from then on, I don't know where we're going to get any goals because we're leaking them like a sieve.
There's just a couple more before we wrap up this one. SJ Chan, good morning, good afternoon actually. Did you hear Ray Parler has said that Overmars wants to come back to sort out this situation here, this mess? No, I haven't heard that actually. I haven't heard that. Just a couple more. I noticed that chairman of the board is in the live chat, but I can't find. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I'm not sure if it's his first one. So the problem is fans want us to challenge with City. The reality is we are miles off number 1, 2, or 3 players. We're given, I'm not sure, to change. We're going to change that with the clown we still have at this club. I don't know. I just don't know what to say. You know, when I look at Arsenal, just speechless, Ralph. Absolutely speechless. Absolutely speechless. Just don't know what to say anymore about Arsenal.
I'll keep on saying. I know that every record that so far that Arteta is breaking new ground in the wrong direction, as it were, right? But we're not surprised. How are we still surprised when these losses come? You know, I don't think it's expectation. I think it's almost like, well, we know what's happening next because Arteta doesn't know what he's going to do next. And that's to me, that is the saddest fact, is that you've got a manager there who doesn't seem to have a clue how to fix it because he hasn't had the experience of where he's been before. This is a new experience for him, and he keeps on trusting the players that have let him down. So maybe he's thinking, well, you know, I'll go the other end of the pendulum. I put all the youngsters in. We can't put all the youngsters in against a side that's played really cohesive football, because they pick you apart as well. So you have to mix the experience with the youngsters. So which of the experienced players are going to stand up and say, okay, this is where it starts now, guys. This is where it's real. I think Aubameyang did a post-match interview or whatever it was, and I saw on a couple of days later, there's a picture of him showing him in his yard on his sofa, smiling as if he's got no stress. And I'm thinking, you've got to keep yourself humble and quiet. Best thing to do is prove it on the pitch. Prove it on the pitch.
Yeah. Guys, we've come to an end. I want to keep it inside an hour, but we've gone over an hour and 3 minutes, and just a bit of change as well. Before I wrap up this one, I say a big thank you to, first and foremost, our moderators. Well, one was doing his job, and everyone was just like commenting. Don't ask me. You're supposed to be doing your job, mate. But sterling job, actually, I noticed it was quite difficult. There's some people just doing silly comments and like that, and quite right, you put them on timeout and you block them. As well as thank you to our viewers. I think there was like 300, it topped out at 320 odd at any one time, watching both Raz and myself just talk about Arsenal. Yeah, there's still no voice of reason, but maybe this was the voice of reason, kind of mismatched in the Tuesday morning catch-up stroke transfer show on Canon 4 TV. But Ralph, thank you very much, man, for coming on.
It's fine. It's just, I think I need to get some things off my chest. So yeah, the video will be coming up. Don't worry, it'll be coming up. And I want to, like I said, there's a special mention. We want to do something for the viewers, but we'll do that at the weekend. Yeah.
All right, guys, so that's it. You will not see me tomorrow. I'm giving myself a break. You know, again, just going tongue and nails, on this transfer season. It's been a marathon. Give me 25-mile walk any day. I'd rather do that than the transfer season.
Maybe 5 miles in, you'd be saying, no, that's it now.
So you will not see me tomorrow. You won't see me tomorrow, but I'll make sure there's some other bits and pieces like in place of me, some pre-recorded bits and pieces on this wonderful channel of ours. And yeah, so thank you to you guys. We try to cover as much as we could. I saw the live chats are still rising. I can't get there, man. Can't get. I remember back in the day, I was thinking, come on, someone write something in the live chat. And now I'm thinking, oh God, give me a break. Give me a
We
break.
need another hour.
Yeah, or 2 or 3. But anyways, so yeah, the transfer window, it's still got a few more hours to go. I think is it 11 hours? Yeah. 11 hours and 45 minutes to go. We're done. I'm cream cracker. So we're finished. Absolutely finished. So enjoy your day, your afternoon, your morning, or your night, wherever you are in this wonderful world of ours. And you have been watching Cannon for the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.